Babbel is one of these companies from Germany who really cracked the industry of foreign language. They wanted to IPO, I think, last year, which was delayed or is moved for market conditions. But rest assured, this company is on a roll. Thank you so much, Arne, for being here.
Thanks, Marco. All right, and since you already introduced the IPO and we're on to financial topics, the last event we joined, we were called boring. Actually, no, very boring, because Babbel is cash flow positive and self-funds all of its growth and innovation. So just want to get a quick show of hands who thinks that being cash flow positive is a boring sign. I'm not going to take it personal, so just boring, yes? No one? Come on. Yeah, exactly. So the other way around, who thinks it's interesting? Yeah? Oh, wow. Okay, everyone else is asleep. That's a good sign. That's a really good sign. Or you're just trying to be nice. I'll take that boring any time of the day, by the way. Not looking forward to having to worry about the next salary run or the next 5 salary runs. I'm Arne, CEO at Babbel, and we're the most sold language learning app on the planet. Cool. Let's dive, if we can. All right, let's dive into this. We invented app-based language learning. We were founded in 2007, so first company to provide cloud-based, app-based language learning, and we're also the most sold language learning app on the globe, with more than 10 million subs sold since we started. We've now expanded, so you don't just see the app, the courses, the reviews anymore. You'll also be able to do podcasts, which is passive audio-based learning. You'll be able to take classes with a real teacher, so virtual classrooms is our latest edition. And the mission really is to create a blended learning ecosystem, a suite of learning methods, so that you truly learn, so that you truly get speaking. We offer this both on the B2C side and the B2B side, and obviously then across all the learning methods. Just by adding B2B and live tutoring, we, by the way, have more than 10x our addressable market in the language learning space, just to give you an idea of what the potential is for future growth. Cool. Quick run of the numbers. We're about 1,000 team members now across New York and our New York and Berlin offices. The 10 million subs I've already spoken about. We are going to publish our 2021 numbers soon. So this is an early look. 200 million company now and growing. We are cash flow generative, so cash flow positive, as you can see here. And I don't find that very boring. Allows us, this is after all the investments into the product, into the team, and into growth. Our US market is now the biggest market globally, which is actually astounding. I'm very proud to be standing here on stage in Europe saying, yep, European tech consumer businesses can be successful on the other side of the ocean. And then our B2B business obviously is still in growth stage, so more than 2.5x in 2021, just to give you an idea of where we're at. Now that's the numbers, that's the financials. The real topic of today is a different one. I hear about ESG a lot. As Marco pointed out, I went through an IPO process until 3 days of going public, and I was asked a lot about ESG. Frankly, I don't think anyone cared that much, so it still seems more of a tick-the-box exercise, which makes me very happy because today is trying to change that, and thanks, Marco, for being gutsy and doing that. As a company, we do have an ESG report. You can read up on the E part and the G part of what Babbel does. We're doing really well. We're more than just ticking a box. But as a company, we chose to focus on the S. So social sustainability, which is really what we do every single day with our language learning product. And as a company, I don't think you can be amazing at all 3. You need to focus on one and do that really well. So how do we drive the S? Our company purpose is creating mutual understanding through language. And this is not just a sentence. This is really what drives us every single day. We're a language learning app. We allow you to speak, to have a conversation, to create a deeper level connection with someone else in another language. It allows you to speak someone else's language. It's a deep act of respect, of tolerance. It's an act that builds bridges rather than tears them down. Yeah? This is what drives us every single day. We didn't have to invent it, since our core business, what we do every day for our learners, is tied to our business model, is tied to what we call our impact activities. One example is when the war or the attack in Ukraine broke out. We very quickly saw, lots of war refugee movement. We can help, and we have to act. A team came up with an idea real quick, and it took us about a couple of weeks to create Ukrainian courses, or allowing Ukrainian speakers to learn German, English, or Polish. And we have more than 100, roughly 500,000 learners now that are using the app. It's free. We don't make revenue from it. I don't think any business algorithm would ever take that decision, but I can assure you that zero revenue doesn't mean there's zero impact from this. The power of being a purpose-driven business and purpose-driven company inside the team for our innovation, for our future growth, is priceless. Another proof how purpose drives our business is what we call learner success, and that's actually our core company KPI. Our core company metric is not revenue, it's not profit, it's actually learner success, because we know the more we make our learners happy, the more monetization opportunities we have down the road. These are two real stories that I just quickly want to say. On the right, you see Julia, Ukrainian war refugee, had to flee to Poland with her daughter, had never learned a language before, and then unfortunately all the courses that the Polish government offers were booked. So she couldn't get a slot. She started learning with Babbel. She's now less than half a year in, a B+ level Polish speaker, and just got a new job, and she celebrated that by sending us a quick thank you note. So great job, Julia, and very happy that Julia is able to make a new home for herself, even if forced. On the left, you have David, or Dave. He's from the UK. Never learned the language either, didn't want to, until his son told him, I'm getting married, and I'm getting married in Madrid, in Spain. So Dave said, my in-laws are, the in-law family is Spanish, so I better be giving my wedding speech as the bride's father in Spanish. So he started learning with Babbel, started practicing his speech, and this is actually a real image, that's why it's a bit more pixeled, of him giving that exact speech in Madrid at the wedding, and you can kind of see the pride in his eyes, and I'm sure the family was proud of him as well. So this is what we mean when we say learner success. It's not just you scoring 10 points on the Babbel course. It's not just you having a great activity streak. It's really using the language in real life and making an impact in your own life with another language. The good thing about learner success is the better we do on that, the better for our business. Babbel has been a subscription-based business since 2009. I think there's a TechCrunch article from 2010 or so that was jokingly saying only Babbel and the Wall Street Journal has a subscription, kind of depicting it as, go into demise with the Wall Street Journal, please. No one is going to crack media subscriptions. I think we've now seen the opposite of that. And what is great is the willingness to pay for successful language learning is pretty high. I love asking what you would be willing to pay for overnight fluency, right? If we made you fluent overnight in French, what would you be willing to pay? And the answers I get back are somewhere in the 8,000, 15,000, 25,000. It's like big numbers, right? So I have absolutely zero lack of confidence that we can double, triple, quadruple, quintuple our CLVs over time. Okay? The market is also on our side. This is what happened during the pandemic, and this is one country, first lockdown. In the first 2 days, you see a bit of a dip. We all had to get used to our lives in the pandemic. During lockdown, we had to watch the first couple of episodes of that new Netflix series, and then started thinking about, what am I going to do meaningfully with my newfound free time? And that's when existing learners doubled their learning activity, and new learners incoming about tripled or quintupled, depending on the country and the time frame you look at. So great boost during the pandemic. Luckily for us, it's not over, it's continuing. post-pandemic, language learning is still seeing a boost. The market is supposed to grow to 62 billion from 50 billion a year. It's just private and company spend. And we're actually growing faster than we were during the pandemic as Babbel. Not slower, no Netflix, Spotify, or other movements post-pandemic, but actually faster. I have two explanations for this. One, language learning was ripe for digitization. We've all now homeschooled our children, gone through a Zoom meeting and seen that, yep, works. And the second, we actually badly want to speak to someone else again. A social act, a social connection, we're social animals. The pandemic proved that to us. Just wanted to add two dimensions to the ESG abbreviation, and that's longevity and financial sustainability. There is a lot to be said for building a company that doesn't just win the market 5 years in a row, but that lasts, right? Babbel never sought to disrupt a market or to weaponize money or to take a market by brute force. We built a sustainable business, we grew sustainably, we built a sustainable team, we built a sustainable organization, a company that lasts. And the same is true for financial sustainability. When I looked at the speaker list, 34 million raised since inception was the number that was given for Babbel. And the next lowest number I saw was 200 plus million. Yeah, we built a 200 million business on 34 million in cash, and we theoretically never needed that cash because we've been cash flow positive. That's a sustainable business. And yes, right now we're all being proven that that sustainability is worthwhile. So I'll leave you with the thought of, is it possible to make the world a better place and still be a for-profit company? Yes, it is. Our learners are learning. They're speaking to one another. They're making the world a better place, and the company is growing sustainably, making the world a better place. The one missing link is on the investor side. I'll leave you with a question. How sustainable is your investment approach? And how much does that change over time? Yeah? Thank you.